against crime. So the President's statement raises the question, what is a public emergency? And that debate entails the second question, who decides? We may find compelling arguments for saying the crisis described wasn't an emergency, but does the Constitution permit review by the courts of the decision to declare one? What should the scope of that review be? And the third question, raised by the invoking of emergency powers, is whether the emergency justifies the specific measures taken. The emergency regulations of 2011 restricted freedom of assembly and expression. They gave the government power to order indefinite detention without charge. Were they justified by the threat described? So the first question, was there a public emergency? Well, the Constitution provides that there's a public emergency when the country is at war, or when Parliament has by special majority declared that the democratic institutions of the country are threatened by subversion, or when the President has declared that a public emergency exists. And under Section 8, he may so declare if he's satisfied that a public emergency has arisen because A, a war is imminent, B, because of a calamity such as an earthquake, hurricane, or Section 8.2c, and this is the relevant one, that action has been taken or is immediately threatened by any person of such a nature and on so extensive a scale as to be likely to endanger the public safety or to deprive the community or any substantial portion of the community of supplies or services essential to life. In 2011, the President declared himself satisfied that the public safety was endangered. The public safety is a reasonably familiar, if broad, term. How much danger to the public safety constitutes a public emergency? Now, looking at subsection 8.2c as a whole, and at the other examples of a public emergency in the Constitution, we might posit that the danger to the public safety should be of a widespread and exceptional nature. And we get the same message from the international covenants. The International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, of which Trinidad is a signatory. Article 4 says, in time of public emergency which threatens the life of the nation, states may take measures derogating from their obligations under the covenant to the extent strictly required by the exigencies of the situation. Article 15 of the European Convention uses a similar term,